Hey, what is going on, everybody? This is your man OTR Tre, aka Treyway, aka well, it's Tuesday night, Trey tonight, and we have a different type of episode for y'all. This is not an Over the Road Wrestling Podcast episode. This is a viewer call-in episode with one of your favorite guests that happen to chat consistently. Go ahead, introduce yourself, bro.
Well, first off, I'm not one of the favorite. I am the favorite guest. So let's get that straight. You know, just me, the pay-per-view prophet, the matchmaking messiah Zandal here with you.
All right, man. So we got Truth. He's here, but we're having technical
He's in the
difficulties. So hopefully we can get
he-
him. Hopefully we can get that fixed and get him on here.
he's in the upside down right now.
So, but I really wanted to have this viewer call in because shout out to OTR Mike drop. Today is his birthday. That's why he's not here. So shout out to him. Um, but I wanted to speak about the recent events that have happened um over the course of the last few days. So Friday night, we got the fifth member of OG Bloodline. Monday night, we weren't sure yet, but then the graphics have come out and pretty much said that uh, who the fifth member of Team Bianca is. So, what you want to start? Let's do ladies first. Let's do ladies first. Uh, Thoughts on Bailey being the fifth person for Team Bianca?
I don't get what the angle is with Bailey jumping in. I mean, it makes sense because it keeps the team
That's
overpowered.
that's Naomi's
But
homegirl.
I mean, we all saw that picture where Naomi was looking real sus when she was getting that hug. So I don't know. It makes sense, but it's also just kind of weird how she's trying to play into getting like their approval to join the team, and then the fact that she came out to help with the match advantage, which was in itself something I've never liked. I've never liked the faces getting the match advantage. I just don't get that. It kind of throws the whole dynamic off. It seems like it only happens with the women's matches. So now I definitely think the heels might go over.
Okay, so I want to get to even before that, because the what happened earlier in the night. Bianca is saying to Naomi, "Yo, we need to figure out who did this," and Naomi said, "We'll worry about that later. We'll worry about that later. We need to focus on war games," and that's when she pitched out Bailey because Io walked up and said, "Yo, let's put Kyrie in there," and Bianca said, "Nah, that's too much damage control. I can't." Like you one thing, but Kyrie and Bailey, like I don't even like Bailey, like. And then Rhea just rolled up, talk about some, yo, who we picking? And then Bianca said, well, since this is Team Rhea, and I don't know who the hell made it Team Rhea, but she said, since this Team Rhea, who should we pick? And she said, I don't care as long as I get my hands on Liv Morgan. And then well, Bianca just, what I'm saying, she mocked her, talking about some great leadership, and then she walked off. I was just like, that shit is hilarious. Like that team is not together at all. Rhea's Rhea only cares about Liv. She didn't even mention that Raquel is gonna be in there. She only want Liv. And then Bianca can't figure out. She worried about Jade. She don't know what's going on with she thinks she could trust EO, and then she don't like Bailey. So I don't know. So how do you feel about the dynamics of the team?
It's I'm not really sure why they got the whole dynamics of a face team going in not unified. Because when you do that, it just kind of signals, well, there's going to be some sort of shenanigans or craziness is going to happen. Either the heels are definitely going to just take advantage of that,
And the
but I
heels
mean,
are
if
are completely unified.
which is just crazy considering the egos on that team. I mean, well, it's more like the main person, Naya, and a whole bunch of underlings, along with Raquel and them. So it kind of makes sense. But I mean, looking at paper, I guess you have to have something that could give a handicap to the faces because on paper, the face team just looks too dominant. So they kind of need a handicap to try to make people think it can be even or that the heels have a legitimate chance of winning. Which
We
is,
ain't about to
you
call
take
Liv
out.
no. We ain't about to call Liv no underling now.
Uh, okay, the two champs and the rest are underlings. You know,
And they got Miss Money in the Bank.
I mean, she's definitely an underling. I mean, when someone can bully you into not cashing in, and it's not even their title you're trying to cash in on, yeah, that says something.
The shit that makes
But
me laugh is they had the fact that the heel team is so together is hilarious. For one, Tiffany already said she already threatened both Nia and Liv about cashing in on them. Threatened to take Dom with her if she did cash in on Liv. So I don't even know how they even talking. And then Candace is there just because now she's a truly an underling because she's literally just trying to get good favor with Nia. And then Raquel is the bodyguard for Liv. So that shit is just hilarious. And then you got the two champions. So I don't. When's the
well,
last time
three
that the
champs
two
technically.
main? Well, yeah, because you got the speed because she's a speed champion.
Yeah.
But uh, when's the last time the two main champs were on the same War Games team? Has that ever happened? I don't think it has.
Ooh. No, because usually with war games, it's not like a branded deal that I can
And the
think
fact
of.
that both
Usually, it's
of
like
your and the fact that both of your champions are heels is also hilarious.
yeah, I don't think I've ever. I don't think that's happened because what the last time is usually like an actual faction versus another faction. Usually damage
Mm.
control in there. So I can't remember the last time there's been like two faces, especially on the women's side, being on the same side going against faces. So yeah, that's kind of like seems like a first.
And the thing is, it's not even the fact that it's the two champions in the match. They on the same team. That's the really funny part. Is they on the same team. Well, anyway, let's uh let's get back to what we were talking about. So I got so many questions or thoughts about this. So Bianca is fighting Nia, like you said, for the advantage. So it's gonna be who's always gonna have be a man up in the match until all 10 competitors are in the ring or the rings. And her and Nia going toe to toe, toe to toe. And then Bailey comes out. And it's not even like Nia was about to cheat. Like Nia was just about to like straight up win. And Bailey comes out and she costs Nia the match. That don't seem very face like.
I mean, Bailey, I think right now is like a tweener when it comes to that. It's still weird. Like the whole situation just seemed kind of just weird out the blue because it's first way the way she did it seemed kind of cheesy. She's on the ropes posing to the crowd opposite. Bailey comes over, grabs her legs, takes a second, then pulls her, and then you know she's looking like, okay, go ahead, get the pin, and Bianca's like, what? Oh, okay, take the pin,
I
and it's
think
like,
I think for me it's the fact that Bianca actually did it. That's what's throwing
I
me off.
mean, this whole it's like if you don't do it, you're gonna look like an idiot because it's war games. It's like you take any advantage you can. But the second place, it's like weird that it happened because again, faces should not have the advantage. Because when you do that, it's like, okay, now you kind of root for the heels to come back, and that's not how it should be. Especially against a heel group that again everybody considers as the underdog, regardless if they have two champions or not. I mean, that's why I think they had to take out Jade because I think to some Bailey seems like a lesser than Jade just from a physical, standpoint. Then you got the dissension a little bit with Bailey joining and previous issues she's had with everybody. So all that can help to, I think, give a out if the faces were to lose, but also make it seem like they're overcoming something if they win. So I think it's a way for them to kind of hedge their bets both ways.
I don't know about you. Who do you think took Jade out?
Ooh, I mean, the problem is I would think it'd have to be somebody okay, the logical thought would be, okay, it's Bailey because she wanted a spot on the match. Which, I'll be honest, I'm not sure why you'd want a spot on that match. Sure, it's a pay per view of a, it's a big match on a show, but it doesn't
It
benefit you.
doesn't
It's
make
like she's,
it doesn't make sense for Bailey to be the one to take her out when she's trying to gain good favor with the partner of the person that she took out, and she literally just turned face.
yep. So it would make sense if it was another member of one of the tag teams who are trying to get a title shot.
Some
Because then
people
if
have been
once you're a
throwing out
heel,
Lash and Jakara. Some people have been throwing them out.
I mean, but we haven't seen High in their hair since they lost. And
Yeah, but Jakara's still been talking on. She been talking on Twitter though.
so also, I guess the way that she got taken out, being on the hood of a car seemed pretty kind of brutal. Which, I mean, Jakar and them are like heels, but they're not really the one I would think I see putting somebody through, a windshield like that. So
Shit.
if it was me, it would be somebody totally new. That'd be a new tag team, a female tag team, or a new pairing that you just brought up to try and get them instant credibility, sort of like how they did with the machine guns. So, I mean, the obvious choices I think would be either Bailey, maybe even Naomi, because she'd be like, "Oh, I used to be your best friend, Bianca. Now you kind of all cozy up with Jade. You know, it's
Mhm.
supposed to be us two, not this. That's one
Truth,
thing.
welcome in.
Hey, hey, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes,
finally.
Jesus, man, my apologies. I don't know what just happened. I'm literally just going through like four different headphones trying to figure this thing out. I don't know what happened. And I
So we've
use
been
like,
discussing we've been discussing Bailey being the fifth member of Team Bianca, and we're just talking about everything that has led up to that. So what are you number one, what are your thoughts on her helping Bianca and Bianca accepting the help? And then who do you think took out Jade?
you know, I had a I had a thought, where there on one hand I thought it was kind of like maybe Bailey and Naomi are in it together. Um,
Hmm.
Whereas like where I think maybe it's Naomi that's really pulling the strings. I think she's like the the architect of this whole, conspiracy or whatever. Um and then I think she probably was like, okay, how do we stay under the radar? Get because the whole thing is she been trying to get Bianca to kind of come around on Bailey.
Hmm.
And then how do you do that? And it's like while taking out Jade behind her back. Try to convince her Bailey's got your back. Have Bailey come out there and help you win that match the other night. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know where it's gonna kind of go from here, but I kind of feel like they're kind of in, or maybe not necessarily in cahoots, but maybe Naomi's. I think Naomi orchestrated it, but she's kind of using Bailey as kind of like
Yeah.
an accomplice.
Oh, she definitely setting Bailey up. I'm calling it. She is
Yeah,
setting Bailey
that's
up.
what I
She's
think's
setting
happening.
Bailey up.
Yeah, because
What
I
you think,
think
Zay?
Bailey.
Oh, he might not be listening. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I think Bailey probably gonna be the fall girl. Because
Hmm.
she already the easy target for Bianca. So because you know how kind of like um going back way back when, like, prime example, like, I know this is going way back, like, you remember that whole angle where Stone Cold got ran over by that car
Hmm.
and everybody immediately pointed to the Rock.
Yeah.
So it's like I think Naomi might plant those breadcrumbs to make it think it's Bailey when it's her the whole
Hmm.
time. Well, even though she's
Okay.
like, "Hey, do this," but she gonna be going behind not only Bianca's back, she gonna be going behind Bailey's back, planting these, like, trying to set her up.
I saw something that said that because I just brought up Lash and Jakara. I saw something that said that it was those two and Naomi that did it. Like
Mm.
they gonna come up and they gonna be part of Naomi. Naomi gonna get her new faction, a new Black Girl Magic, and she gonna have Lash and Jakara.
I
I'm
mean,
getting tired of these factions. There's too many female factions, and they all have bad names. Like,
there are a lot of factions that are
Well,
kind of like just stuck.
Jade, Bianca, and Naomi aren't technically a faction. That's what people call them.
so let me ask this, because I'm a little foggy on this. Is Jade in the U.S. tournament still, or no? Or was she ever in it?
No, she got taken out. So that spot is up for grabs.
she never had a match.
Yes, she did. She was in the triple threat, but she got taken
Oh
out.
yeah, she got taken out. Yeah,
So they got to replace her because Bailey already won her match, so it ain't gonna be her. Bailey won her match the first night,
yeah, and Chelsea
and then
Green won
Chelsea,
the match. Yeah,
and then Chelsea won hers, and then Bianca lost hers. Matter of fact, that's when the Chelsea won because Bianca lost it
yeah, that's the
because
one Chelsea
Jade
won.
got hurt. Yeah. So this one they got to find a replacement for Jade, but it ain't gonna be Bailey. So who's it gonna be? We'll find that out on Friday.
Who was supposed to be in that three-way with her?
It was Piper. Was it Piper and damn, I don't even know because Natty's
I,
on Raw. I think I can't
yeah,
remember. I'm just trying to think of everybody that's on there right now. Is it Candace?
it might be Candace. That's the name that come into
I
mind for
feel like
some reason.
I feel like it's a blonde. I can't remember who though.
Yeah, because it like they wasn't gonna have Jade and another black girl in this triple threat.
Nah,
So
is
maybe
is
the
Nate?
person that took her out so she's not involved in the triple threat to make it easier for them to advance.
Let me take a look. Let me just look this up right now. Research department. Here we go. Uh, but while we do this, let me just get while I'm looking this up. What's your thoughts on the IC women's title?
I was just about to say, God, I hate it.
Why?
And I hate it because it's like, once you saw the U.S. title, oh, well, I guess there's going to be an IC title. Why
Well,
can't they
yeah,
come up with a different name? Make it unique. It doesn't have to be the IC title. You could have brought back the TV title. That way, it guarantees the girls get TV time every week. I mean,
but
if you're willing to call
they want it to be as prestigious as the men's titles. That's why you call it the same.
the TV titles, anybody who watches wrestling and knows wrestling knows about the TV title. That would have been something. I mean, you got a speed title for God's sakes that's done on X. Are you really that concerned about titles being prestigious?
Well, yeah.
I mean, I guess. When was the last time anybody watched an X match, a
I
speed
don't
match?
think
Well,
I
well,
don't think I ever watched a speed match.
I didn't watch the mixed tag uh tournament either. Mixed match challenge. I didn't watch that either. But shit, people did.
I mean, that was a little different because the winners got actually something for doing it. But I mean, I get why they're doing it because I mean, well, if they can't have the U.S. title, we're gonna have this. I get it. I just feel like they're seeing something a little more original for a title instead of just making just carbon copy of the men's versions. Make it something unique
Do
to
you feel the
them.
same? Do you feel the same about the women's North American in NXT?
Yeah, but that's a little different because that was like a straight. The North American was like a title that had just been never. That was just fully created. Like there was no previous North American title, so you have leeway to kind of do that. I
Right.
still would have been fine if they came with something different for them than North American title, you know.
I I
But
have the
I just
I have the tournament. I have the brackets. I have found the
Okay.
brackets.
Okay.
So Jade's opponents were supposed to be Meechin and Piper Niven.
Okay.
And then in the last one, it was Naomi. So Naomi's already in the tournament. Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton versus Elektra Lopez.
Mm, I'm
so
kind of. I find it funny. I find it very interesting. Tiffany is in this tournament, knowing she has a guaranteed title shot.
Well, who
So
knows when she's going to cash it in, and it could be a
I'm
yeah.
fine
male
with it.
cash in. There,
Well,
there's never
that'd be
been a woman
crazy.
that's had a there's never been a woman that's had a failed cash in like a legit one. like when they
Also,
actually
has
cash it in.
also has there ever been anybody to have a title and cash in on another title?
Nope,
No, I think so.
Hmm.
nope.
I'm a
Look, man,
that's a first. There's a first.
there we talked about pushing and all of this stuff a couple either last episode or a couple episodes ago. Tiffany got a rocket strapped to her back, so if anybody could do it, it would be her. Because this face run that
I
she about
mean,
to
you
go
talk
in
about
or go on when she cashes in on Nia is about to be crazy.
I mean, you talk about Tiffy time. That would be ultimate Tiffy time if she had Tiffy two belts. She
Oh my God,
she'd be the next
that would
two
be
belt
insane.
Tiffy two belts.
But yeah, so moving on from that, um oh, and then how do you like the dynamics of the teams, Truth, before we move on? The dynamics of
The
the two women's teams, how the heels, despite all things that should make them not get along as well as they are, they're getting along amazingly. And then the face team, they over here they beefing. Rhea over there trying to exert her dominance. Bianca trolling her, talking about some good leadership. Then what I'm saying, Bailey. I mean, we don't know how cool they really are going to be. Like it's just a lot of
hmm
stuff going in there.
right. We s- they've confirmed Jade is legitimately out.
Yeah, she apparently she out for like 3 months.
Okay. Um. Yeah. It is kind of interesting. This is all happening like literally on the eve of War Games. Um. It's kind of tricky. I do think that even though Bianca and them have the advantage thanks to Bailey, I think the heels have the mental advantage right now.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because like 'cause I think yeah, Nia and Tiffy, you know, they're I think the status quo hasn't really changed with them. Then you still have Liv and Raquel, so and, they're kind of tight. So um,
Just the Mean Girls.
pretty
Pretty
much.
much.
I mean, yeah. So I don't think, like I said, it honestly, this is like I can't recall a War Games pay-per-view where I truly feel like where the women and the men, I feel like both matches can go either way.
I agree. I agree.
I
I'm leaning towards the heels in the women's match, but it definitely I won't be shocked if the faces won.
Right.
Quick question though.
And
So
yeah,
if Jade's out for 3 months, what's gonna happen with the tag titles? Does she have to find a new
I
partner?
I was just about to bring that up. I was just about to bring that up.
Mm.
You know what's about to happen. Naomi going to get her to have her help her and be like, "Yo, I'll defend the titles with you. I'll take sis spot, and
And
I'll
she
be
going
your partner."
and she will eat a pin.
Yep.
And
She gonna be the reason why they lose, which is gonna further the because it's not gonna come out. I think it'll come out that I think Jade's attacker will come out once Bianca loses those tag titles. I think that's when Jade's attacker will reveal themselves. I don't think you're
yeah,
gonna get it at. I don't think you're gonna get it at War Games.
So
I think
if that's the case, I would say Naomi then. If she's gonna take over as a partner, then I'm putting my thoughts. It's Naomi who did it, with the reason being she could say, "I was tag champions before you. I never lost those tag titles,
True.
true.
and I don't
That is
want
very
some
true.
youngsters start coming in, tag of my friend when it should be me because I never lost the titles."
And I've been a champ,
hmm
Yeah,
which Jade hasn't. Well, at least here. Um,
And also, you got to think about it because WWE loves replaying stories. What did they do before? They had Becky and Lita being tag champs. Lita gets taken out. Trish steps in.
Yep.
They lose the titles, and then Trish turns on her. And we never really got well, it was confirmed that Trish took out Lita. We just never got Lita coming back.
Yeah, like Lita just disappeared after that.
Yeah, I always thought she was going to come back, but she never came back.
Hmm.
But let's move on. All right, who did y'all think was going to be the fifth member of Team Roman? And did y'all think we were going to get Heyman back on Friday, this past Friday? Either one could
Yes,
take this.
yes,
Uh,
and I had two options.
All right, go ahead.
Brock, I think, was what most people said, but
That's
I
what I
actually
thought.
meant to contact you and say, hey, I'm thinking Punk could be one. That's a long shot. And then what happens? It's like the gods were hearing me. You know, matchmaking side, pay-per-view profit. I just talked about Punk the week before with y'all. Had to show y'all the way of how Punk equals ratings. Punk is money.
All I
You
was
want a
saying was
big
that
match, you add
Punk
Punk.
was full of shit. I didn't say anything about him not being a draw. I didn't say he was full of shit.
I mean, that I feel like you really would have had to call Seth a hypocrite if it was Seth Rollins. So,
Oh, you
uh,
saw the rant I did, but I said if
yeah,
he joined the team, all was forgiven.
all is forgiven. But
All is
but I
forgiven,
felt
but
I feel like if Paul showed up, I was like, I feel like Dane. I don't think Paul Levesque is gonna pull the trigger. I didn't think he was gonna pull the trigger on the Brock Lesnar this early. I was like, it wouldn't surprise me if we don't see Brock for like a whole nother year. So I was like,
he might be in the
that
Rumble. They say he might
he
be in the
might.
Rumble.
I was like, it might be. I was like, it might be CM Punk. I was like,
I will.
Oh, what was you about to say, Xander?
Oh, I was gonna say that I have heard people talk about how they feel like Punk is not really making Roman's team seem any more formidable because of his stature and size. Like a Brock would match up better with who the Bloodline has on their side, which that could be true, but I think Punk just makes more sense because it fits in with they took out Paul.
yeah,
We've already established that Paul protected Punk from getting attacked by the Bloodline because he said, "Hey, I'm fine with everything. You just leave Punk alone." Roman agreed to it. So there's already that story there that you could just easily tie up. You brought in Lesnar, it's almost like Seth because, Paul turned on Lesnar to go with Roman. You
hmm
know, Lesnar's not a forgiving person. So it would make no sense for him to help them unless after they win, he just lays, F5 to everybody in the ring, which is just a whole nother thing. And that would just be kind of dumb. So I'm fine with Punk. It makes sense. Now, I also wonder if maybe he said, yeah, I'll do that, but I also want something in return. Maybe if you get a title, I get a title shot, something.
Hmm. Well,
yeah,
I damn, what was I about to say? Oh, I said on the last show, I said if Brock was the fifth man, then it was gonna be a one and done. He was gonna come in, do his thing to get payback for Heyman, and then he'd be done. So I never thought that Brock would like be in there more than just that match. But I did want to bring up because somebody made a video about this and I saw it today. This goes. I'll give Triple H this long term storytelling, especially with the Bloodline, has been really good. This
yeah.
goes
And
all
the
the way back.
details, so many
Yeah,
details, man.
it goes all the way back to when CM Punk showed up on SmackDown and Paul
Hmm.
Heyman came out there and he pretty much was like, "Yo, take me with you.
He said,
When
please.
you leave and go, when you go back to Raw, take me with you." And then like a few weeks later, he's getting laid out through a table. So
It's crazy. Like Paul did a good job of selling it. Like he had like the shadow and the
Hmm.
bloodshot eyes, like looked like he ain't had
You could
sleep.
see how he progressively was getting more uncomfortable as the weeks went on.
Yep.
And
I w-
but this is oh, go ahead.
no, I was just saying, I am curious about one thing because there is like a little bit of a gaping hole with this that I was
What's
discussing with a
that?
friend of mine with Paul, the whole phone deal. Because I know people have said, well, Solo destroyed his phone previously, so that's why. But you having a destroyed phone doesn't mean your phone number changes to get disconnected.
Facts.
So, and then the whole video that surfaced of Sammy throwing the phone, don't know if that means anything or not. But I would like Paul to kind of tie up those loose ends, which I don't think he's one for leaving loose ends like that. I want him to kind of lay it out as to how everything happened, why he didn't answer the call, things of that nature.
Also, too, I want to know why Paul Heyman came back dressed like Solo.
There we
Because I
go.
know I
There we
noticed that.
go.
I was like, hold up. And then not once did he acknowledge Roman.
At all. And I'm trying to. We talked about this on the last show. If Bloodline 2.0 wins, well, if they win, The Rock is definitely coming out. But he could still come out if they lose.
Mm,
But I could definitely see that. And then I saw another video. I don't know. I don't think you sent me this. True. But somebody sent me a video, and it was pretty much saying that Paul, because Paul Heyman has a history of betraying people. He
he
betrayed
does.
Brock. He betrayed Punk, and people are saying that he could end up betraying Roman because when Roman lost to Cody and he was gone for all those weeks and months, when he was being terrorized by Solo and the new bloodline, Roman Reigns was never around. He never came
Hmm.
back to save him. He didn't come back until after Paul Heyman got taken out. So that
Right.
could they so
I think I did.
people are saying that that could be the reason why he either blocked Roman's number or just got a whole new number that Roman doesn't know. So who knows?
Well, yeah. I think I did send you a link about some of that. I think some of
Yeah.
that was in that
I don't
link.
know. People been sending me videos all day. That's why I wanted to hop on and do this stream because I got too much to say. But yeah, I'm thinking that video really did have me thinking like, what if Paul Heyman and The Rock struck a deal while Heyman was on hiatus? That would be crazy.
That, ooh, that that does sound crazy. I'm trying to, mm, you know, it's not that out of the world. I mean, um, cause yeah, you never know. Cause it's still like I just hopefully if The Rock does come back, hopefully he does more than the 1, 2, 3 and the throat slash.
Hmm.
Like, I don't want him coming back on some cryptic shit.
Well, honestly, I feel like if he does come back at Survivor Series, it is gonna be on some cryptic shit, and we won't get the real promo until the next week on
Uh,
SmackDown. Because, like I said, because if it turns out that um, let's say Paul Heyman has aligned with The Rock,
mhm.
that means that he's playing everybody. That means that he would even be playing CM Punk. Um,
I don't know if Paul would do well at this point because I think
Paul would.
I mean he could, but I mean he went so far to say like to beg Punk to like take him to Raw.
Mhm. That was a different time, though, man. That was months ago.
Yeah, yeah.
That was months ago. And also, my thing is now this was also in one of those videos, but this is also something that I've been saying religiously on these pods. Roman still hasn't officially hit rock bottom yet.
No pun
To,
intended.
yeah, no pun intended. I was thinking that he officially hasn't hit rock bottom yet because he got the OG bloodline back together pretty quickly without
I,
even really
that,
having to
that's
make any amends. Without even really having to
that
make any
that's
amends.
I thought that was very odd too, because I'm like, okay.
I know War
Also,
Games is coming up faster. It was coming up, so you had to kind of move a little quickly. But the way that Jay got back into the fold so fast, I thought that we were gonna go at least another week or two of him telling everybody to relax and stop talking to me and all that before he just came down and was just ready to go.
well, I think with Jay, I think it was because of I think he did it more so for Jimmy than he did Roman.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, because I think that was the bridge. I think in order to do that, he had to make peace with his brother first. And I think if he was gonna make peace with anybody first, it was gonna be Jimmy.
Yeah. That's why
And
Jimmy
I
was the one that said, I'll go try to get him.
yeah. Um,
So and
now I'm
then
just kind of like,
Sammy got in kind of fast too. Like they
yeah,
beefed, they just argued, and then it was just like, well, it felt good us being all four together. So,
I'm
I'm
still
back
I'm still trying to figure out, when some of these other family members gonna show up.
after.
Probably gonna probably it's probably long after. You never know.
I don't know how much long after because people keep thinking that Jacob is a damn double agent.
Yeah,
People keep thinking
yeah,
that.
yeah. People
Everybody
keep
keeps
thinking that.
thinking that he about to turn on Solo.
Well, I mean, that 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 chain never kind of breaks itself. Like how one rises and falls, and the one, like, because you kind of look at it, look like how all these factions go. The
Hmm.
dominant one becomes the star at some point, like, or like the enforcer. Like look at
We
like
seeing it with the Judgment Day right now.
yeah, like look at Evolution back in the day. Triple H had Batista, and look what happened.
Hmm.
Batista became the champ
Hmm.
eventually. So I think
It did. Yeah, because then switching real quick of another faction. You look at the Judgment Day. They said they ain't got no leaders, no egos, but Finn is clearly asserting himself as the leader of the group, and nobody's really fucking with that. Dom definitely ain't, because he
yeah,
trying to. I think that this is a story for another show. They gonna end up kicking Finn out, and Dom's gonna assume leadership of Judgment Day. Him and Liv gonna go on a run,
at
a
at
mean
that
one.
at that point they need to just call it something else.
They probably will call it something else.
Should
Because all of the original members will officially be gone, even though technically Finn isn't an original member, but he was their first recruit.
yeah.
Well, technically Rio was.
Yeah, I think it was Rhea, then it was no, it was Rhea, then it was
It-
Damien,
no, it was Damien. It was Damien Priest first, and then it was Rhea, and then it was Finn.
then it was Finn. Yeah.
Yeah, but you kind of just lumped them three together only because they were there when Edge was there.
Hmm.
So you kind of lumped them three together. But Rhea and Damien were the first two recruits, and then they brought Finn in.
Right.
And now he's doing everything that they did to him. But going back to the bloodline, yeah, because if let's say Jacob does turn on Solo, the God, their brother Hikuleo, he's in NXT, so they can literally just move him right on in.
Oh yeah.
So unless because I think that if Jacob turns on Solo, then we're going to begin the story of now Solo trying to get back with the OG bloodline. Then it's going to really be the OG bloodline,
Yeah.
and then
Because
Jacob
because
will
because
assume leadership of the brand of the new bloodline.
because I think because it could be the Rock with like because yeah,
His
like
people,
Jacob's loyalty is actually with the Rock, not Solo.
because
And then
they
it's
said
it
that he was sent. They said Solo again going back. Solo said that they sent Jacob to him. like the ancestors, not the ancestors, but the
The
elders.
elders
The
sent
elders
Jacob.
they sent Jacob to him. So the Rock is technically one of the elders now.
Technically, yeah, he technically is one of the
If
elders. So
Jacob was to turn, it would not happen before him and Roman had their singles match, because that is the
Oh,
big
definitely.
money match that they've been teasing. So
Oh
that,
yeah.
but this War Games is going to be. I think this is really going to lay groundwork for like specifically how WrestleMania is going to end up going, because I feel like the new Bloodline needs a win, but if they win, then I really don't see any reason why Roman and them should be continuing on with the storyline, because you got beat, you know.
Well,
twice, you know,
Roman still has to get the Ulafala.
He's had that Ulafala so many damn times. That's like him and Punk. Punk could have had that bracelet so many times, but no, he just wants to keep hitting. So I'm sorry, that
And
Ulafala,
what's the name? And Roman and Cody beat the new bloodline.
yeah, but he needs to have a singles match, like a singles match, because okay, Roman's been pinned, there's a tag match. Singles,
yeah.
he has not taken the pin yet in the singles since God knows how long. So he needs to have that one-on-one match where it's like, I don't know, have a tribal warfare match where all the family members are outside the ring and they're just in the ring, like their version of a lumberjack match with the
Mm.
Ulafala at
I
stake,
don't
something
know.
like
A
that.
part of me, a
Ulafala
part of
on
me
a
feels
ladder on
like
a rope match.
a part of me feels like this storyline is not going to go the way that people think, which is why I could definitely see the new bloodline winning. Because
Right.
I think because the end game for real is Roman versus The Rock.
Oh yeah,
That's truly the end game.
that
So
should be the end game.
you can't end the story until that match happens.
Is it though?
It is.
The reason I say
It
that is
is.
because would that be the bigger match, or would Rock versus Cody possibly for the title on the line be the bigger match to some?
No, the bigger match is Rock and Roman
Roman.
because the Rock and Roman because if the Rock truly is leading this new bloodline, then that means that he had been plotting on Roman ever since they hugged at the presser last year, and he been planning this whole thing. If he gets Paul Heyman to turn on him, he's literally taking everything from Roman and being like, "You're nothing." Showing him that he's truly not the tribal chief, all that stuff. Like that story, this story is too layered and detailed for
So
it to not end with them two.
then my question is, what is at stake in that match? It can't
I
be for. Is it for tribal chiefhood? Is it for the Ulafala? Because if it's for the
I think
Ulafala, that means what? Souls
maybe
for the place.
I
That,
think I had a thought in my mind. What if Cody was collateral damage? Let's just say, because Rock still has his beef with Cody.
Hmm.
Cody, gets in his feelings, his ego. He puts the title on the line in night one against The Rock, and The Rock beats him.
Yeah.
And then the title's on the line in night two against Roman. But somehow, some way, Roman has to like maybe fight the bloodline on night one to get the title shot.
Okay. I see what you're doing there.
my only thing with I take of that
you
is,
cook.
do we
You
think
cooking
The
a little
Rock can
bit.
do 2 nights of wrestling?
Yeah,
That's the
I
only
know.
problem.
Yeah, that's gonna require a lot of moving parts. So I don't know. Also,
Yeah.
they gotta make sure The Rock will actually is confirmed to do WrestleMania. Like, is he actually gonna be there this year?
Oh, this will be the biggest They said last year was the biggest WrestleMania of all time. This WrestleMania, depending on how they book it, will be the biggest of all time. So Rock will definitely be there. If his ego is as big as everybody says it is, he'll definitely be there.
Yeah, especially when John Cena's already announced he's gonna be there.
Come on, man! This John Cena's last WrestleMania. The Rock is getting on that card.
Yeah,
And John Cena showed up last year to help stop Roman from beating Cody. Yeah, man. All this shit ties in, man. But did y'all want to speak about the New Day really quickly, or y'all want to go ahead and end it right here? It's up to y'all.
We can talk about the New Day. I mean, it's cool with
We can
me.
talk about that crime that was
That
done,
what?
that black on black violence that was done.
Oh
Jeez,
yeah.
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about the savagery.
They I didn't know they had that in them. I was like,
I had
whoa.
no one shit like
They've
that.
been holding
Like people,
they've been holding that shit in, man.
that's
I
like
mean,
the barbershop talk coming out in public.
It's like they
Like
finally gave each other a reason to snap like that on each other.
this is this has been some of Karrion Cross's greatest work yet.
oh
Oh yeah.
wow,
Pla-
you,
Planting
you
that
give
seed.
credit.
He really did. It's literally because of him.
That might have been the first time I actually heard like Kofi be like downright vicious and serious like that. Because Kofi's usually always fun loving. I don't think I've ever really seen him mean and nasty, even when they were kind of heels.
I,
It was always like
Kofi.
joking.
hmm Yeah, Kofi had that look on his face like Kofi was about to knock it X out.
He was. And
Yeah,
then
he.
think about it. Think about it. Woods, he said exactly what Xander just said. He said, "Fine, is this what it takes for you to get mad?" Like he was like saying like you don't. Well, long ago in this 10-year run they've had, when they were beefing with the Wyatts, the original
hmm
Wyatt family,
Yeah.
uh, they were when Woods was getting spooked out by Bray Wyatt, he was playing mind games with him. And Kofi and Big E, he felt that they weren't taking it serious, and he said, "This is the problem. Y'all not taking this stuff serious. Like these are the Wyatts. Like this is scary. This is whatever he was saying." And he had to like check them. Like, yo, y'all need to like pay attention. This ain't nothing to play with. So
hmm
he's always been the one to get the most serious out of the three of them. But now that he got Karrion Cross in his ear, that made him be like, "Hey, why aren't you more of a staple?" I think he's the is he the youngest one in New Day or is it Big E? I
Uh,
know
I,
Kofi's the oldest.
I think
I
it
think
is
it's Woods.
Xavier.
Woods is the youngest
Woods is
one, right?
pretty young.
Yeah, I think Xavier is
Okay.
the
So
youngest.
Woods is the youngest one, so he's been pretty much just there. Like, and then what did Kofi tell him? The reason why you can't win nothing is because you ain't been good enough. It's like, damn.
Yeah. Whew.
So
Yeah, that
Like
this
was.
is
shit.
this is my thing with this whole angle, which I'm going to ask you all this question. Would you consider this whole thing a disappointment if it doesn't lead to the return of Big E, not just coming back to fix it, but in the ring?
I don't
Ooh,
know.
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
because I would have loved for this story to have continued if Odyssey Jones didn't get himself released. I would have loved to see
Oh
where the story
God,
would have gone.
I think that's how this whole thing started. 'Cause yeah, he just kind of who he was there for 2 days, 2 weeks, and that was it.
hmm he was a flavor of the week. Kofi had it. He had Kofi's attention, but then, yeah. To answer your question, I don't know. I don't think it's a waste if Big E doesn't come back because I think one end goal could be to finally Woods to finally get that character change and to
hmm
finally boss up and get a singles title. Um,
Do you
he
think
don't have to win.
he needs to
He
get a
don't have to
title
win the
during
he don't.
this time?
I'll probably say not directly, but maybe like a couple months after. At least be fighting in more multi-man matches for it, more tournaments for it. Like always being a name that gets brought up,
Yeah,
building him up, making him making him credible to where they don't to where when Woods is thought about, it's like okay, maybe Woods could win it, like stuff like that. You gotta build him up.
Can you
yeah.
see this going the route of Woods finally winning a title or having to beat Kofi for a title, a la
Oh,
Brett versus Owen?
I would love that.
I mean, that might have to come to that.
And I'm thinking like if they do have that match, I'm thinking this is going to be when you get the most brutal Xavier Woods you've ever seen. Like to the point where Big E, who's in the back, has to run out in his suit to stop Woods from beating the shit out of Kofi.
Oh Lord, you talking about that TNA Woods, huh?
Oh, that Consequences Creed Woods.
Yeah,
I didn't watch that Woods. I didn't watch him back then.
yeah. The
So,
Woods team of Pac-Man Jones.
Oh God.
but I'm thinking, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, because Woods is clearly going to be the heel out of the coming out of this, because Kofi's not going to be a heel.
No.
No.
Honestly, I could see it being like this, because I believe I saw something about Kofi talk about retiring soon. What if Woods retired Kofi?
Mhm.
Mm, I mean that does make a lot of sense. I mean, if there's a person to retire him, it probably would be Xavier.
Because if Big E's not going to come back and they're actually going to reform the New Day and they're going to just break them up and Kofi is thinking about retiring, then I would say you could do it that way as opposed to them fighting in the like an intercontinental tournament or something. Because Woods has already won King of the Ring. He ain't do nothing with that, as Kofi told us.
Yeah, he pissed it
Hmm.
away.
But we gotta talk about the zinger of the night. Kofi, I mean Woods talking about how he lost to Brock in 6 seconds. That ain't been brought up on TV ever since it happened.
The worst 6 seconds in his history of his
It,
memory. Yep.
Xavier didn't have to throw that in there. He didn't have to
Yeah,
do that.
nah, he did, he did. Kofi was going too ham. He had to.
Had to
He's
make
like,
it real.
relax, buddy. Like, yeah, you won the championship, and I was happy for you. But then you pissed it away on the premiere of SmackDown. You got beat in 6 seconds.
Mm.
Because the thing
Mm-mm.
is, they're saying things to each other that in real life, if somebody spoke to you like that, you'll probably never talk to them again.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm
That's the
like,
whole point. They trying to get them
yeah.
to that point, and that's why I say Big E is definitely showing up next Monday. He has to. The tension here is too crazy that Big E at least has to show up. Try to get them back together.
And then what's gonna happen is they gonna push and shove, and then somebody gonna hit Big E by accident.
Oh, it's gonna be Woods. Woods is gonna hit Big E by accident because it's kind of like Woods has been begging Kofi to hit him, but Kofi still won't pull that trigger. If Woods hits, well, honestly, I think that it'll go either way. I think that if Kofi hits Big E by accident, Woods is gonna go ape shit, and vice versa. But I think that um, if Kofi hits Big E, it'll look and feel more like an accident. Whereas if Woods hits him, it may be an accident, but it's gonna
I
look like
don't.
he did it on purpose.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be an accident or not, but
I think it depends on I think it depends on what Big E says to them. Yeah,
yeah,
it just depends on what Big E says to
I'm
them.
kind of curious, like what. Yeah, Big E might.
Because
Yeah,
what
I
if
am
he
kind
comes
of
out and
curious.
says they? What if he comes out and says he agrees with Kofi?
What if he
Like I
comes out
agree
there
with Kofi.
and what if he comes out there and agrees with Xavier?
Yeah, I mean he could, but at the same time, you can't really shit on Kofi too hard because he is a Grand Slam champion.
I mean, and also too, like Kofi has accomplished way more than Big E and Xavier. Just like 'cause people
So
forget,
exactly,
Kofi has multiple time IC champ, multiple time tag team champs with other teams.
U.S.
Uh,
champion,
U.S. champ, and he's got the
the world heavyweight.
the world
I mean
title,
the WWE championship. So
the
yeah,
WWE title.
and he beat Daniel Bryan to do it
Yeah,
and beat him clean. But the reason why I would say that Kofi, I mean Big E might agree with Kofi is because Woods already feels. I could see Woods feeling slighted because he hasn't accomplished as much as them. And if Big E just doubles down, not as rough as Kofi said it, but he was just like, Woods, Kofi's
Hmm.
kind of right. You've had these opportunities, this, and that,
Yeah.
and you
I mean,
haven't really
you were
capitalized
king of
on
the
it.
ring.
Like he could say it, he could say it in
Yeah.
a nice way, but he's still getting on him saying that Kofi's right. You haven't done this, and this with these opportunities, and I can see that's when Woods goes. That's when
My
Woods
son.
snaps.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, people forget. Yeah, Xavier was king of the ring,
Yeah, but you
and
forget about it.
so yeah, but you do forget about it.
Zelina did more with her Queen of the Ring than he did with his King of the Ring. At least when she was Queen of the Ring, she won the tag titles with Carmella. Like Woods didn't win anything when he was the King of the Ring.
She's kind of like the Xavier Woods of the women's division because it's kind of like she hasn't. When is she gonna win a title?
Well, you got to remember who the champions have been.
Yeah,
Uh,
Speed is the only title she wins.
who was she beating? Now her match against Rhea in Puerto Rico was really good, but we all knew
yeah,
she
that
wasn't
was
winning
really
that
good.
match.
Yeah, we knew she wasn't winning, and I think
She
uh,
possibly could. She could beat Liv, but they weren't taking the title off of her because the story she's in is too hot.
yeah,
So
yeah,
when and where will so that's why they're talking about that's why these IC and US titles are good because people like her can start getting a title. Because there's a chance that Zelina could never win the main championship, but she could definitely win this mid card.
yeah. Well, yeah. So it is kind of a good thing you had a mid card because there's certain women who you'd never think will win it will win these,
As
and
long as
being
you have a Charlotte, a Becky, a Rhea, a Bianca, a fucking
Jade,
a Bailey, a Jade
that's
now. It's
and
certain
I
people that will consistently get chances and get the title put on them, even if you are you may get that one off person that'll get that one championship and they'll have that
yeah.
shit for like 3 months and they'll do it
I'm
to
just
feed the fans and that's it.
I'm just curious whenever they gonna pull the trigger on Roxy to come up.
After she loses, I think after she loses this NXT championship at Deadline,
Yeah. Oh,
because you gotta think, Deadline. I honestly, because I think Trick is coming up after Deadline. I think he's gonna lose the
I can
championship to
see
Ridge
that.
Holland. He's gonna lose the championship to
Like
And
Ridge
for
Holland because,
Netflix.
um, yeah, because he's on the promo for Netflix. Uh, that starts is literally a month after Deadline. The Deadline is December 7th. Netflix goes to Raw. I mean, Raw goes to Netflix January 6th.
right.
And but the thing is, um, we won't see him. We may see him, but we probably won't because I think that because the Rumble isn't until February.
February, yeah, I just looked
So
that up today.
it's not like he's going to be entering in the Rumble and then show up on the Monday after.
Hmm.
So if you put him on Raw, he would have to just be a regular debut, or you can just wait and bring him up during the Rumble. But I think Roxy, I think after
Yeah.
she loses the title, because how many people she going to beat? How many more people she going to beat? She's
Question.
damn near making the
Well,
case
Roxy,
for. She's making the case for greatest NXT Women's Champion
you're
just based
making
off
Yeah,
the
because
people
how
that
the
long?
she's
same
been
Yeah,
point that
because
I'm
beating.
about to ask.
yeah, because how long has she
Okay.
had the belt?
When did Mandy leave? Because she's had it since then.
It's been about at least a year and a half. So my
That's
question
whew.
is,
Yeah.
can she really and truly be considered the greatest if she has not beaten Asuka?
So this is where like Asuka is like how there's levels to things.
Cause Oscar
Asuka
ran
is
through a
like
gauntlet.
Asuka is on the level of you can't be better than her because she was so dominant that they just had to take it from her and then move her up because she
Yeah, she
literally
she
beat
left.
everybody.
Yeah,
Because
well, wait a minute.
Even with Rhea and Shayna, they both lost the NXT championship.
Wait a minute.
Asuka never lost
Some
it.
she never lost it.
She never
Yeah,
lost in
cause
NXT.
yeah,
So
she never lost it,
Charlotte
and then
Charlotte Charlotte beat Rhea for the NXT championship, but she
and
didn't beat
then
Asuka
so
for the NXT
and then
championship.
Oscar's first loss was to Charlotte
don't start
at
with
Yeah,
me.
WrestleMania,
yeah,
which
So
which
Sammy
I was
loves
hot
him. He
about.
loves him some Charlotte. He loves him some
real
Charlotte.
thing.
Oh God.
I'm not trying to get y'all kicked off about Charlotte. So
I like Charlotte.
I'll keep it
I like Charlotte.
F
Uh,
Charlotte.
I like
Okay,
Charlotte for
okay.
about I'll say this. I like Charlotte for about them first 4 to 5 title reigns, and that was it.
He said the
The
first
the,
four
the
to five title rings. Good lord.
yeah, them that the
I
back and
like
forth she had, the back and forth she had with
Sasha.
Sasha. That was it.
That's a
I
whole other
liked her
thing.
feud with I liked her feud with Bailey. When Bailey first, but the thing is, this is when Bailey first turned heel. Because I like heel Bailey. Um, Face
Yeah.
Charlotte is weird. She's better as a heel, but
I'll just say this. When's the last time Charlotte elevated anybody?
Charlotte as a face doesn't make sense.
she
She doesn't
elevated Rhea.
elevate anybody. We had this discussion already. Did she? She beat Rhea in the match that Rhea probably should have won.
And then what happened? The reason why Rhea's on this mega run is because she beat Charlotte.
Mm, okay. Charlotte's the push killer. She's the new Randy Orton. Hollywood's the push killer.
Don't just dismiss my point. She went on this mega run after she beat Charlotte.
Okay, she beat Charlotte, but would the run started? The run should have started sooner because she should have beaten Charlotte earlier. Like
Well,
I don't get
we
why
talked about
everybody's
pushes
so.
and push killers and all this, so it is what it was.
Yeah,
Nah,
Charlotte's
She
the
had
push
to earn,
killer.
nobody.
she had to earn that.
Mm,
Oh
mm.
wow.
She had to earn that. That's what they say, don't they?
Oh, yeah, they also say it's who you know, not what you know.
Or
Well,
who
tell me somebody in the women's division that consistently puts somebody over where you be like, yeah, I like her because she puts people over. Give me somebody.
Who's in the division now,
Yeah, since
or
Charlotte's
just
been
in
there.
general?
Since Charlotte's been there, because every time I do this, people like to go all the way back to the '90s. No, I'm talking about now, now.
Oscar's put people over.
Okay, so she's one. Who else?
Bailey's put people over.
Bailey's definitely put people over.
Who did she
Um,
put over? Bianca.
She's put over. Yeah, she put over Bianca. I mean, she's who else did she put over? She put over a lot of people. I can't say Becky because Becky's well, no, because she beat Tiffy, so in her own place. So I can't say Becky.
yeah, I'm
I
trying to
mean,
think. Yeah, who has Becky put over?
If they don't put over one up and comer, they never put anybody over.
no, it's just like, but okay.
Heck, even
I'll tell you
Ronda has
my
put
opinion
somebody
for
over.
Flair. It's a Flair
Ronda put
thing for
Liv
me. I'll
over.
be blunt.
Yeah,
It's a
Ronda
Flair
put.
thing.
Ronda definitely put Liv over.
I am not a Ric Flair fan, and I'm in Flair country. I'm not a Charlotte fan. Everybody says how great they are. My question is, are they really that great, or do they always have great partners? Because when they had people that weren't great partners, their matches were trash. Case in point with Charlotte, with what's her name was there, who left and became Ash. When she had her as a little protege and had matches with her, those matches were
Oh, Dana
trash.
Brooke.
Yep, trash. If you're supposed to be so good and have a match with Broomstick, you couldn't take Dana somewhere. You couldn't elevate her. Nope.
But who did?
Yeah, I mean, who was gonna
Nobody.
do? Who was gonna work well with Dana Brooke?
If you're the
I'm
best, you
saying
should go to
like
work with anybody. Bret Hart made Virgil look good. So
exactly. What he just do? He just went to
come
the
on.
'90s. I'm talking about the women.
Sasha,
I'm
I
talking
mean
about
Sasha
the
Banks.
women.
I would say
Sasha
What
this.
Banks
women?
put over Bianca.
What women put? No, I'm talking about what women put over. You talking about somebody like Dana Brooke? So who else? Who else put her over? Who did put her over?
I don't know, but yeah. Sasha definitely put over Bianca. Um,
If
uh,
they're both stars, can one star put another star over? If they're both established stars, not an up and
well,
coming
yeah. I
star,
mean,
like
they talk about.
they're
Well,
both
I,
established.
I I hate to go back to the '90s, but they've talked about that. I've heard documentaries where like stars talked about putting over other stars. Like, so it has happened
Because I'm
before.
trying to think in the women's division. I'm trying to think is um if Bailey and Charlotte fight and they both came in together. Bailey after started having her title reigns. Is Charlotte putting her over by losing, even though they're both on the same level? Same thing with Becky. Like if they fight somebody that's on their level,
Well,
that's my question to
Bailey was the
y'all.
last horsewoman to come to the main roster. So
That is true. But when they had
Yeah.
their beefs, Bailey was established.
Mm, mm.
like I said, she doesn't put anybody over. If they're not, she's only good when she has somebody who's as good as her, if not better.
I ain't about to argue this all night.
It's fact. We talked about this. You even said you can name how many people she put over. Okay, in her whole career, Rhea Ripley.
I mean, the biggest star in the company. I mean, it's pretty good.
I mean, that doesn't mean nothing if you make one star who's who's becoming injury prone. It seems like.
What
Mm.
they got to do with her?
I'm just saying you can put over one star, but I mean, it takes more than one star. It takes more than one star.
Well, I'll have to
I'm
go
just like
back cause would y'all say that she put Becky over in their feud?
no.
Ooh, that's
Becky
debatable.
got over because of an accidental broken or messed
I
up
mean,
nose
Nia
by
Jax
Nia.
helped Becky get over with that knockout.
Yeah. So
Because when they were having that beef and she dropped the title and they had that issue.
yeah,
Didn't she lose that feud?
that was very bizarre. I'll never forget that where they threw the belt at each other.
yeah, they talked about that. I heard it was like a quote unquote miscommunication, but Becky was not having that. So
Because some people call Becky Hogan. They say she don't put nobody over. Xander just likes to go in on Charlotte, but it's mad people that don't put people over.
I'm not a Becky fan. I
I
am not a
mean,
Charlotte fan.
nobody
But
beats. I mean, well,
I go
who?
harder on Flair for a reason
Yeah, I know. I
because
can't.
of
I can
her.
only take
Because
half of what you. I can only take half of what you say seriously about her.
no, I say this because it's okay. This is why. Becky has never made qualms about being a great wrestler. We all know that Becky's a talker. She's a personality. No one ever says she has like classic matches in the ring. Okay, Charlotte, they say, oh, she's so great in the promo and the mic. No, she's not. Listen to her promos. It sounds like she's yelling
No,
like this
I've,
and
I've
talking
never said
about being
that.
a
I've always
queen.
said her promos
Ooh.
were ass. Charlotte's promos are ass. I've never said they were
And she
good.
talks about she's so great in the ring. Anybody
Well,
can
she
be
is great
great
in the ring.
when you have a great dance partner. It's when you don't have a great dance partner that you show how great you are. Case in point, Shawn Michaels had good matches with people who weren't considered great. Bret Hart did it. I know I'm going to the 80s and 90s. That's fine. I mean, it's she doesn't she hasn't elevated anybody. It's like she's not here. You're not missing her. If she was that vital, you'd be missing her like you're missing Roman when he's not here. People say Roman had the championship too long, but once he was gone, everybody had that buyer's remorse.
Yep.
Yeah, but I
But
feel like certain times you don't realize you missed something until it comes back.
yeah. Well, because you've talked about it. Y'all have talked about it. Like the whole thing, like just ever since Cody has won the belt, it's just kind of like, eh,
Yeah.
like Cody's reign hasn't been all that great. Now, I think if they finally pull the trigger and put Kevin Owens and Randy Orton into the title picture, okay, you got something here. Because that I think that's probably been the best story dealing with Cody and his title since he's won it.
I think that if they pull the trigger and let Kevin Owens beat him at Saturday Night Main Event, then we talking.
I mean, I'm all for that at this point because it's
Then we
almost kind of
talking.
like it's almost kind of like
Because we don't know what the end game is for Cody because because at first we talked about it, The Rock and Cody. Okay, so The Rock and Cody, but then it's like, are we gonna have him hold it all the way until? I don't have a problem with Cody losing it and winning it back.
Yeah, people do it all the time.
Yeah, just lose it, win that shit back, and then fight Randy for it. Because I think what's going to happen, because I could definitely see it where Cody beats, I mean, Cody loses to Kevin, Randy comes back, he beefs with Kevin, he takes it off of Kevin, and then we get Roman, and then, I said Roman, then we get Randy and Cody, friendship and respect, but then Randy turns into the old Randy, turns into that Viper.
Turns into Orange Viper.
Yeah. And also you got to think, because they talking about the way that Cody snapped on Mello in the backstage segment that
Hmm.
oh heel Cody is coming.
The
I
Homelander,
was like,
the Homelander Cody.
yeah. I think that the one thing I do like about the feud with Kevin Owens is he's actually having Cody give real emotion. It's still babyface emotion, but it's not like corny
Yeah,
uh
it's not cool.
babyface emotion. It's I'm gonna drop some
I'm
truth
telling you
on
the
you.
truth.
Yeah,
And,
and then you just
and
need to understand it. And this is why this is happening. You're a self-sabotager. You do this, you do that, you blame me. Not my fault you couldn't pull the trigger when you saw that I was injured. Not my fault that you couldn't do this. Not my fault you couldn't do this. Just like beating him down with the truth. I like
hmm
that kind of Cody. I could deal with that
yeah,
Cody.
yeah, um,
The
yeah.
whole boy
Like I
you want
said,
to talk about Cody, I'm good.
yeah, like, um, yeah. Kevin Owens is kind of like the perfect person to kind of bring that out of Cody.
Hmm. He just needs to
Now,
get. There's nothing wrong with being a baby face. The problem is, and you don't have to be a baby face with edge like Stone Cold, but you do need to let it be known that you're not a pushover and that you're not just going to be gullible and fall for everything. My problem with Cody is he cried
hmm
too damn much about everything, like literal tears, and he
White meat baby
believed
face.
everything. And he believed everything.
the
This
Cody
version of
crappy.
Cody, yeah, this version of Cody, if he stays a babyface, but he's got a little more like this, like y'all gonna stop trying to. Pretty much, y'all think I'm soft. Y'all think I'm a bitch. That's pretty much what Kevin Owens said, in so many words. So
Mm-mm-mm.
I like this Cody. I can deal with this Cody. Oh shit,
Yeah.
Wesley cut his hair. Wesley cut his dreads off. I'm watching NXT right now. He
Oh
cut his
Lord.
he cut the dreads. He got a I don't know what the hell he got. It's like a it's like a fade fro type of thing.
Hmm.
I mean, it looks decent, but all right, y'all, man. We've been up here for an hour, 15 minutes, man. I enjoyed, I enjoyed our conversation.
Yeah, minus the technical difficulties.
I was telling Zando, man, it doesn't matter who's on here or what. Technical difficulties just it's just a thing.
Uh, also, yeah, so it's not a one-off.
It's your signature move.
He's got to been
Yeah,
the technical difficulties.
yeah. This is me. This is me putting the stream over. All right, y'all, man. Everybody say peace.
Peace, 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 peace,
Peace.
peace.
All right, everybody. This is your boy Trey, aka Treyway, aka OTR Tre, aka Tuesday Night Trey, and we are out of here. Thank y'all again for joining or watching another viewer call-in show. This is number 5. Hopefully, I plan on doing a few more of these, but we had to get this one out. Emergency stream. Had to talk about the stuff that happened on Friday and Monday. But all right, y'all. Catch y'all on the next stream.